Have you taken matches? Facebook account, matches are racist.
Hello Revolution fans, I just wanted to give you an alert on an emergency because my father's Facebook
We don't play salt. I will put let's put them on the table. Yeah, when you see all, you would have Italian economy. Good. And you know, I'm not going. Now, put them in the room. You do more. You be any issue. I love it. I will be your. You will be a daddy. You know, see, but if you plan to go, and come and acquire. And I mean, tomorrow when you come, we should come and eat there. So take some and go and eat the meat to eat. Try to keep it in such a way that when you get to eat it. Yeah. Me na me dudulo. To go on this.
My phone.
My phone you Okay, thank you very much, and good afternoon to you once more, to everybody who is here on Facebook, YouTube, and in the Clubhouse. Thank you very much for joining us once again. Today is the 12th of December 2021, and we are preparing for our end of year Thanksgiving and rituals for the spirits that have worked with us through the year. In fact, yesterday we tried to do the show yesterday so that today we won't be doing. We were supposed to travel to go and grace a function somewhere in the eastern region, but unfortunately, my health did not allow me, and my Afa also said that we should not go, and then we didn't go. So we are again using this opportunity again to come to you live from African Magic Temple in Accra, and I'm saying hello and good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to you wherever you may be in the world. And please get ready with your questions, and I will try my best here to answer you. Thank you very much, everybody who has joined us. So I'm going to pour a libation, and then after that, we will start reading your greetings and also waiting for your questions. Oh, ago mauga sobolisa. Ago mauga kitikata. Ago mauga ese joto ame joto. Se na no ame se tie no ame wo ma no bevi. Dokuno bevi. Dokuno bevi bevi anu wo ma no vi ogbe wo ma no vi bevi anu dokuno bevi ogbe se popolipo. Me ora kekekeke. Me yo she me hanfura sho kete do ago. Yo semi fura sho me do ago. Yo abraxas me yo zi adrepo do yo kadre to be mi ko wo wo verso to kama yo me do me yo me no zo ji anyi di zo kaka chikazi bo shadre ni ala fa benya bo bi na pe bi na bo juru hono me yo ra kele wo nya yimba ma di fero fo kula yimba mo do di ka wo nya bi ma te kule te ku etega o me yo akan be chu akan go yo akan je ba kan bi su ba kan tro ba kan me ni ba kan fi ba kan ma mi wa ta ba kan ga ba kan pẹ̀lú pàtẹ mẹ́gbà àjàgbó lákòókò bàbá méjì fi sọ̀rọ̀ sóbi tó díjú ọ̀yọ́ mi lúdà ọ́ ọ̀yọ́ mi kọ̀gbá ọ́ ọ̀yọ́ mi gbẹ̀wò ọ́ ọ̀yọ́ mi kàkú ọ́ pẹ̀mí ọ̀zágbó ọ̀yọ́ mi pẹ̀lú ìlú rákẹ́ ní àkwàhà èmi yọra kékeré wo jọ pàtà jọ máa kú afọkẹ́mẹ́ fọlọ́ mi tìmọ̀ fọlọ́ fún dóòmù gbèrè o kókóró kú àtọ́lẹ̀ fọ́fọ́ mi jọ̀gbọ̀n yóò hẹ́ jọ̀gbọ̀n yín tó ayé mọ́ jù tó anú kwárẹ́ pẹ̀lú yín lè fẹ́ mi tó bá jọ tó sọ pé dùn wọn náà kẹfẹ́rẹ́ ká jọ pàtà bẹ́ẹ̀ lè àti jù wọn bá jọ yẹn jọ pàtà ọbẹ̀ fi àrò jọ pàtà wọ́n tọ́ ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ dáàmú àbí fagbọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè yẹn then I think ajolo jopata jopata ya tefe me yo mi bo jire to to be den ta pa pelu ti zugboru ajima ogboju pe odo jalo pe nko me ba nti fa mi ba lo jo na to fu agosa pate me yo ati gere me yo boro be mi ra ke Allah fia nya tefe me yo ama gasa se geja papa sese se to be geje ndo ako koro yo brahini me yo gbogbo chi me yo ngbe furi koko mo ke go me go mi che kuma ko na to gbo nyi me yo oya tɔni kɔ sipi kɔ kube yɛ no nya kɔsɔ ɔkufo ni kɔm gege tasi nya mo si fusi yam kɔsɔ abira kɔbra me yɔ ama nye gbɔdwe mba tɔgbe nya kɔkɔ kofi akubi amen sa adori ɛfɛ mbɛ pɛku no o ɛkuto me ne fa na mi gbogbo re mi ana agbɛgbɔdo ne fa na akubi amen sa me yɔ mi yɔ pete lo agbɛdagbɛda gbɛdi mi yɔ oya fo nye celestine yawo akubi katrina akubi afo nya sense kɔdo fo nye yawo bɛn akubi yɔ kuto me ne fa na mi me yɔ mia sɔrɔ ɛwɔ mbɔ atutsi atsuku akubi cecilia akpɛnɛ ɛka tɛfɛ mi nsa kuto me ne fa na mi yana gbogbo ní mẹ́fà náà ní pé ìfúnni ọdún náà rẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ àwùnà tó jí bọ̀kọ́ tó jí tọ́gbó tó jí mẹ́yọ kíní kìíní hásì bọ̀ ní tìtàgbé kára sí bọ̀dà gbọ̀dà náà mẹ́yọ ọ̀yọ́ máa hà àpẹ́dọ̀ náà yẹ gbẹ mẹ́lẹ́fẹ̀gbẹ́ bẹ̀ndọ́nù ọ̀dà sí mi náà yábà dọ́kọ̀ àpẹ́dọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ náà tutututu ní àpẹ́nẹ́fà ní mẹ́fà gbogbogbogbogbogbogbò ẹ̀kútó mẹ́fà náà gbogbogbò rẹ̀ nàná gbogbo mẹ́fà náà yẹ ẹ̀bí o mẹ́mà nọ̀rọ̀ gbogbogbogbogbogbogbogbogbò yɛmɛ yɔ bɔkɔ adafili soso fa hu agbobi bɔkɔ afata wa jɔge ɛkuto mɛ nɛfa na mi gbogbogbogbo re mɛ na gbogbo nɛfa na nyateƒe mɛ yɔ hu nɔhunu le bakɔ nɔhunu le afɛga egbi afɛga yɛmɛ yɔ ɔla le kekekeke ɛkuto mɛ nɛfa na mi yɛmɛ yɔ tɔgbe anani tretu le dzita aŋlɔ mɛ da ke yɛmɛ yɔ tɔgbe abraham divenu le tsame mɛ yɔ tɔgbe fiatɔ Simon kavi abenyana si agotime ni aba ho ani anu kuto me nefa na gbogbo re na gbogbo nefa na te fe me le fe tatro le fe pe le mi opete yo me le nda na ni be ayo mi ado ago na mi ya te fe sibo ko woni fe ma pe fe de mi ao tonyu fonyu novinyu kwenyu me opete mi mana mi du egbe nhưng cái to he rồi đủ anh em có thể bên nhà khỏi nhà đây bên phát bên phát xí nó giả xí làm sẽ nên ban năm nhà nó như bao làm nên sẽ nên mà tao phải trông trôi rồi anh bây anh bây giờ abu chỉ sạc ra cái cho bảo vệ tôi đủ tôi có đi đâu có cũng có anh bởi thôi bên nó để chụp phim tao bên cũng có đi xin rồi có photo giả bảo để cho tua cho he có phi atra mấy giờ em bây giờ tôi bây giờ tôi bảo một đứa tôi ra hơi đủ mà sao có giá trị cũng như có tôi có xin nó có tôi kiri cũng mấy giờ ra e yeme yo afana go na afagbo ma to ko 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 to so le menda pa bi mi ko limbe ndi ko mi wo mi ndi so mi aka mi go da mi sam ka mi tu ko mi tu la mi lo te mi che mi fu mi ko li che tu la me yo kre ba vire ko ta ba do ko na ta le ade nte me yo afeli afeko bo mi afeke mi ba poku le gba jigbosu sine di lo go ne ba lo la ma sine ba gbe ne ba me yo bete apo mi gbere o ni ayira na gbe na bo mo na ko me yo le gadi e gabe mo na ko na me le sron di sron mo le hu na ore sron mo no hu no ame yo le vidi vi be mo le hu ore o vi be mo no hu no ame yo ji vi be mo le ta pa na o vi yo me yo de sron mo le ta pa na o sron me yo le do mo le ta pa na o do ore o no po ta na o do no po ta na o be vi no po ta na no si ani se wo le go do di me no ayi ni e amenda no fuko e joporu me na ayi ni ono gbe bi ape o ni àwọn yẹn jòkó òun lè ní ẹsí mina ní àpò òun ní àmọ́ bá gbẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ́kọ̀ ní àmọ́ òun yọ ní ọ̀dà pay. Yo, we are now on. Thank you, everybody. I've just finished praying for all of you, that those of you who are looking for jobs should get jobs. Those who have job already and want to improve your jobs should improve. Your positions should improve. So it is with people who are looking for wives or spouses, husbands. They should get, and those who have got husbands and wives and spouses and they are not finding any way to their life, having challenges, their lives should, the relationship should open up so that there should be peace. And those looking for children, those who have children and their children are not respecting all their challenges, all of you, may your doors be open. May the ancestors guide you. May the spirits and the Vodus guide you, so that things will get better in your lives. Okay, we are starting with Facebook. We have our sister Melissa Roshan Porter Boedi. Melissa Roshan Boedi. Say hi, family. Hello, Melissa Roshan. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And we haven't forgotten you. I don't know whether Senna has contacted you already. If she hasn't, then you can contact him directly, or because I told him to contact you. I don't know whether he did or not. Then so thank you for joining, and then maybe after the today's section we can talk or chat later. And then we have Doris. Hello, sister V. Okay, me for you that. Lagbe now I'm saying lagbe di ngogbo yi. No kere di lagbe. Be mo na ku na o. Na ba pe de dire. Akpe. And then we have Jack Asuojemi. Hello, family. How much will it cost me to undergo training? I don't know, Mr. JB. It's not something that I can just tell you that, oh, come and pay this one and you undergo training. Training is a practical thing. Maybe the way we plan it, maybe that's not the way it will go for you. Because each and every individual has their own destiny and the way the spirits approach you and the way you approach spirit. What I will advise is that you should come to the shrine, come and make consultation, and then you can put that question across. We will ask the oracle the things that they need to do for you. As we go on, you'll be doing them, and then as they do them, so the money comes. So it is not like a tailor-made thing in a shop somewhere you just pay money and then take it. No. Spirituality is totally different. Thank you very much for joining us. But you can always come. Okay, you can always come to the shrine, and then we'll do consultation. And then we have Telly Marie. Telly, hello, Telly. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us. Good afternoon, Baba. I hope you all and family are doing well. Yes, we are. I'm a little bit down. My strength is not so high because from last Wednesday I've not been feeling great, but today I'm a little bit better than before. Thank you very much for asking. I'm very grateful for you joining us this afternoon. Thank you. Is that the last one? On is that the last one there? Okay, then like that comment. Okay, and then we have Joe Dagger on YouTube saying, "Hey, Joe Dagger again. Thank you." And then we have Mario Young. Good evening, Daddy, and AMT family. Greetings from India. Hello, Mario. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon and your evening or night in India. We are very grateful that all of you, Joe Dega and everybody was able to join us here at this time. We are very grateful. I'm very grateful to all of you. And then the people on Clubhouse also, I'm saying hello to you and thanking you all for joining the section. Thank you very much. Please, because I may not be looking on the phone to know who is speaking, so please, people on in the Clubhouse, when you are speaking, just mention your name briefly for me so that I will know who is speaking, and when I'm going to reply, I'll be able to call your name and then reply to you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Senna. Is Senna here? Okay, Senna has just arrived at the shrine, so he will be there to talk from the other side of them.
Yes, I am at the shrine.
Okay. So you and then okay, Joe Dega again on YouTube say I'm from Miami, Florida. Hello, Joe. Thank you. I've been seeing your reaction and questions on our YouTube platform or channel, and I think I've been trying to answer them. But then we are here live today. If you want any question to be answered, please ask me straight away and I can answer them for you. So Joe, thank you very much, and my regards to all the people in Florida. And then I said, Joe, I hope one day we'll meet you. Sure, why not? We pray to the ancestors, we pray to the Vodus and the divinities, the principalities, praying that we will have an opportunity one day to meet, for sure. And then Mario Young in India is saying, I'm sorry to hear about your health. I hope you feel better soon. Oh yes, Mario, is one of those things, when you are taking a lot of people's sanskara. That's what we were taught in Ananda Maga or Karma, when you are trying to change a lot of people's life. People are having challenges with things in their life or in their life, having difficulties, and here you are always, you take from the east, you take from the west, from the south, from the north, and you alone, you are trying all this. So definitely you absorb, sometimes you absorb too many, and then you get sick, and then your body get purged out, and then these things will go again. So it's part of the work. It's would they call it the hazards of the occupational hazard. So it's part of it. So thank you, Mario. These are the occupational hazards. So when people wanted to be priests, they think when you are a priest, it's only the point where you are respected and you are loved. There are these kind of occupational hazards in it too. So when you are being trained, your teacher should be able to give you all this information. So as time goes on, when you face this thing, don't think that because your spirits or your vodus or the divinities that are with you, they are not active. That's why you are sick. No, it's the occupational hazard. It's part of it. So you need to learn and put yourself in it. That's what it is. So thank you very much, Mario, for your concern. I'm very grateful. Then we have Joe Dega say, I wanted to know the spirits that you have our day in Haiti. You have our day in Haiti. Joe, I'm not sure I understood the question. That I wanted to know the spirits that you have. Our deity in Haiti, I don't know, but I say our day. I have so many spirits. Some of the ones that I have here, you may have them in Haiti also, but maybe with a slightly different name. But then, since it's Voodoo, and most Voodoo things in Haiti are from West Africa Voodoo, which we practice the Ewe Vodu. So there are some, because there are some which may be from our area which may have the same name, like what I have here. Because I know that in Haiti they have the Eves, then the Yoruba, they have all these things. So it depends on when you are, whether you are from the Ewe line in Haiti, then my Vodus and the ones that they may have, they may be the same, or some may be the same. But if you are from the Yoruba ascent line, then you may be more of the Orisha type, where then Haiti and all the diaspora is a hot pot of all of Africa. So everything there is same like in Africa. It may not be directly from my area, but it's the same. And then we have oh, right. Why my voice coming back? Yeah. Is this over? Have you plugged this in? I'm not hearing it from the. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. Let me go on. No, it's okay. Yes. So we have a Bright Aqua. Hello, Bright. It's been a while. Long time. I haven't heard from you. How are you doing? Hope you are very fine. And I'm happy you are joining the conversation today. Please ask me questions, and then maybe I'll try to answer. Any question from anywhere, just ask me, and I'll try to answer. I think Senna is somewhere around here. Maybe that's why. Okay, then that's Senna, if you are behind so close, move away from here because I can hear myself.
No, I'm in
Your
next
room.
to your room, so I'm far away.
I'm hearing myself coming and the echo coming back. I don't know why. But anyway, let's continue. You see?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, let me read the questions on YouTube. Finish then your the greetings on YouTube. Then you can come in with your question. And please, as I said earlier, please mention your name, and then I will be able to just call your name, and then I'll continue. So it said, okay. Joe Dega was saying that I wanted to know the spirit that you have. You have our day in Haiti. Yeah, they may have some in Haiti for sure. It's the same. Like I know that there was some Haitians that I did work for, and we were talking. They were talking about Ezili Frida, which is I have here. We call it Alajadu in my shrine, and in Haiti it's called Ezili Frida, and then some other ones too. So yeah, for sure they are. And then Joe Dega again is saying, I'm doing so much research on the spirits my parents are. My parents are from Haiti. Some of the spirits, or most of the spirits from Haiti, are from Africa. And we have some spirit that was already in Haiti. Okay. Yeah, definitely Haitians also. There were people, I think, the Arawak Indians or whatever. There were some people there already. So they also have their own voodoos. Yes. Thank you very much, Joe. And then Joe was saying, Joe Dega again was saying, if I was here in America, how would I salute your spirit that I salute your spirit? What I mean is, how would you set a shrine or a table for it? Spirits are not physical entities. If you are in touch with a correct and a proper spirit, definitely someone can be anywhere and pray to it. But if you want to set it up, then it has to be a physical thing. It's not like you can set up a shrine in the air. No. You can pray to spirits even if you don't have them with you. But if you want to set them up as a spirit, then you need to physically mount them. Okay, then we have we have a bright aqua. I've heard it said that when a Bokor divines for you about a problem, and a ritual needs to be prepared for you to remedy your situation, it is not okay for the same Bokor to do this. Is this true? No, Bright, it is not true. It's the Bokor that did the divination for you is the same Bokor that is supposed to do the rituals. Because the energies that are with him, the Afal that is with him, and the divination chain that he used to divine, they are all different. It's the same thing. It's called divination chain, but how people prepare the divination chain before the divination chain becomes a real divination chain that it could capture the information that no one in the shrine has heard except the person who is speaking on his or her money. Is totally different. Each one's way of working with their affair is different. So the Bokor that divine for you should be the same Bokor that will do the rituals. Because even for a ritual to be done to be successful, it's also a key. It's also an initiation. People can do ritual and the ritual will not be successful. But then there is some Bokors where they do the ritual. Every ritual that they do, it must be successful. Why? Because they took the initiation of doing successful ritual. So that also is there. So it's not that one Bokor will do the divination and then another one will do the ritual. No, the person who told you this thing, I believe he is not a Bokor, or he has nothing, doesn't have so much practical knowledge of Afar. Probably they read from books, but they probably do not have practical knowledge of Afar. Thank you very much, Bright, for that question. It's a very beautiful question. And then Joe Dega, the spirit that you have, is it from your family lineage? Was it passed down, or did you buy the spirits? Okay, the spirit that I have is not from my family lineage. The ancestral stool, the family ancestral stool, is the only one that is from my family lineage. Most of the voodoos that I have and I work with, I went to learn and get trained. I paid for my training. I won't say I bought them, but I went to the teachers who have these voodoos and they trained me. I paid them for my training and then they made the voodoos for me. So yes, I paid for them, but I would not say I buy them, not like, because they are not things that they put in the market, they are selling and you go and buy. They do it for you. And you buy the materials that will be used in preparing the voodoo. Then, when the voodoo is done, your teacher will charge you for his workmanship or whatever money he wants to take from you. Then he takes them from you, and then he hands over the voodoo to you. Before handing over to you, he initiates you into the voodoo, and then hand them over to you. The voodoos that people sell in the markets, how do you get the initiation into it? It's not like a car you buy and then they give you. Even if it's a car that you bought it, if they don't give you the key, you can't drive. And even if they give you the key and you don't know how to drive, you cannot drive. So Joe, that is it. Then Joe, the guy said there is a slight echo. Yes, that's what I was saying, because I don't know where the echo was coming from, because we are still here, the same gallery studio where we do things. But today, maybe it could be from the network. I don't know. So then Joe Dega is again saying, oh my God, what is a Zili Frida name, please? I don't know. It's from Haitian Voodoo, so maybe you check it. Haitian Voodoo, there is a Zili Frida, or a Zili Frida, which I have worked for with people, which is the goddess of Friday. It's called in Greek mythology Frida, which that's why the name Friday came about. And it is guided by the planet Venus, and it's a spirit of prosperity, fertility, and abundance. And in Jewish Ameya, that is the same spirit. In India is called Jasmine in India, and then in Arabic it's called Yasmin. So that's what people call in Haitian Voodoo a Zili Frida. In my shrine it is called Alajadu. And then we have public relations. Say, Papa, hello, public relations. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you on. Thank you very much for joining us today. And then we have, again, public relations. Thank you for the work you do. I'm very grateful for you people giving me the support to be able to do it. I'm very grateful to all of you. Then Joe Dega saying, sorry, I asked so much. I cannot know because I am not that female spirit, and I cannot know all female spirits in the world. So there is no way I will know which spirit that is having sex with you. I can never tell because I don't know all spirits in the world. The ones that I work with, I know. Then there's some general ones that I know. But if you want to know what is happening with you, then you must check it and find out what it is. But by just me telling you, oh, it is this spirit, it is that spirit, I may be wrong. I may have some idea of spirits that go and have sex with men and women in dreams or whatever, but I may not be sure which one it is. I know we have other spirits, a whole lot of spirits in the bed goblin family. So I don't know which one is which in your case. So Joe, you may need to find out through consultation with priests that know how to do consultation. And then we have a public relations. Papa, can you explain why we should feed witches who attack us instead of fighting back? Okay, that's a very good question you've asked. A lot of time people say, why is it that witches are attacking me and I'm going to feed them? The point is that you don't have power over witches, because the kind of power that witches possess, you cannot confront them. You cannot confront them openly. You negotiate with them, and it is not just one single person whereby you say that, you are attacking it and overcoming it. If you attack a witch, others will join in and they will defeat you. And what happened? Your life will spoil. Either your business, your own life, or whatever will happen. So what I learned from my father and teacher is that witches, you need to negotiate with them and ask them what they want. And then when you give them, they leave you. Just like the policeman, they are like that. So this is the reason why we actually negotiate with witches. And when you do too, you will see changes. But if you want to fight them and you have a way to fight them, then you can. But me, I don't know how to fight them. I'm sorry for that. I'm not the fighter. I'm a peacemaker. So anyway, thank you very much, public relations, for that question. I think all of us will learn from that. And then I have Bright Aqua. What is the position of traditional African spirituality on LGBTQIA? When did this name become so long like this? This name only used to be LGBT and then now Q and then I and A. What is all this long name like that? I think when I was growing, we know that we have lesbians and homosexuals, and that was two. Then the lesbian and homosexual was changed to gay. American English become gay. Then that means the LH become G. Lesbian and homosexuals, then the word must become G. Because women too are called gay, right? And men too are called gay. So the lesbian, now the LGBTQ, that was the last one I heard before, was called LGBTQ, and I was wondering what is the T and what was the Q. Now there is a IA added to it. Right. There is no problem with LGBTQ IA with traditional spirituality. The reason is that the entities that created this world, or the entities and the divinities and the principalities that are in this world that rule this world, some are hermaphrodites. I think you know the word, hermaphrodites. So because of that, you cannot tell whether a spirit is a male or female. They can interchange anyhow at any time, depending on how you approach that spirit and how that spirit wants to approach you. So someone who is practicing African traditional spirituality, especially those who are doing the Mami Wata and all these things, they can be whatever they wanted to be. I think the universe is not against them, because are they not just human beings like us? The only difference is that is their sexual orientation is different from another person's sexual orientation. I even know some great spiritualists in the past, especially in the Hermetics and the Gnostic cycle. Some even try to practice homosexuality somewhere in their practices, but that I'm not saying it is a good thing or a bad thing, because I don't know. And I don't think African traditional spirituality is against anybody that, oh, because you are gay means you cannot practice. No, are we the human beings who will judge who should worship God and who shouldn't worship God? No, God should decide, or the spirits that we work with, because when we say God, I'm talking about the combination of all the entities in the universe that created the universe. So God should be able to tell whether he does not want someone who is a gay to worship him. How do we know whether God himself is not gay, if there is a God? So those things don't really matter as far as God worshiping is. I don't think people should discriminate on that grounds to say that because you are a gay or you are a lesbian or you are a LGBTQIA, you should not. No. Those things shouldn't be anything. Individually, some of us, we don't want to be a gay or we don't want to be lesbians. But then somebody's sexual happiness and orientation is that line. So you can't say God will not accept that person. So I think it is just normal. But then it depends on priest to priest. Maybe some priests are totally against lesbian and gay. But then some may not be. So it depends on, listen, at my shrine, we are open to everybody. We don't have a problem because we are doing spirituality. We are not doing a religion, or we are not doing religious work here. It is spirituality that we are doing. So I will leave it at YouTube for at the Bright Aqua. And now let's go on to Clubhouse. And somebody wanted to ask a question. So let's take it from Clubhouse now. Thank you.
Hello, Papa.
Yes.
think there was somebody who was here who wanted to ask a question. So if you are still here, please go ahead and ask your question.
Anybody else at the clubhouse can ask a question, please. If you have a question to ask.
Hello, yes, this is Samuel. My question is when you're doing the end of the year ceremony, is that the time where you guys give the spirits a break and you guys go do work or rituals? I just wanted to know.
Is it Samuel? Hello, is it Samuel?
Yes, this is Samuel.
Yes, please, can you come with your question again so that I can get the picture clear?
Okay, so when you do your end of the year ritual,
yes.
I've heard that there is a ceremony or a ritual where the Vudus go back to heaven. There's no rituals, but like there's a time to give the spirits a break, I guess. Is that what the end of the year ritual is?
No. The time that people say the Vodus go back to heaven and then come back, at my shrine, my Vodus don't go to heaven and come back. My Vodus are working all the time. But then in some shrines, people say that between certain time, the Vodus will go away and Vodus will come back. But at my shrine, I think that we are working almost every time. We don't even know when they have gone and when they have come back. Once in a while, if other priests come, they say, oh, maybe this Voodoo is not active now because maybe it has gone back to report. But we don't believe in heaven, you know. There's no heaven, so I don't know. But at my shrine, I try not to be religious, so those things, no. Our end of year rituals are thanksgiving to the spirits that I have worked with through the year. I thank them at the end of the year, and I feed them, and I invite the public, friends, and people who have like minds to come and dine with us, enjoy with us, because we are thanking the Vodus that we work with through the year. We also feed our ancestors during the end of year ceremony, thanking them for keeping our life, and then also praying to them that they should take us into the new year and take us through the new year until another year ends for us successfully. So the end of year rituals at my shrine is a Thanksgiving. That's why we write it Thanksgiving and end of year ritual at AMT. And this year we are exactly 25 years old in Ghana as a shrine. So we are celebrating our silver jubilee at African Magic Temple in Ghana. Because this work did not start from Ghana. I was living in Asia. I was living in Thailand and also in the Philippines as well as Japan. And this spiritual work started even before my children, Sena, Pele, and all other children were born. But when I came back to Ghana in 1997 with my children, that was the time that I set up what I call African Magic Temple. But I have the African Magic this long time as African Magic because that's what I do call it. But then in Ghana, we added the temple to it, African Magic Temple. So it is the celebration to our spirits, and we are thanking them for bringing food to our table and also helping a lot of lives by changing the lives of other people. That's what we are doing. It's a Thanksgiving ritual.
Thank you for the.
Thank you, Samuel. I'm very grateful for that question. Yes, anybody else or if someone has another follow-up question, you can, or anybody else can send me a question.
Hello, Papa, I have a question
Yes.
of my own.
Yes, go ahead, Senna.
If you don't mind. And it's a follow-up from last week. So last week, you shared your story about Christianity and your own struggles and your challenges with the song with the devil and all of that. And the kind of story basically ended when you moved to Nigeria. And so I just wanted to ask just a few questions about your experience in Nigeria. How long were you in Nigeria? And if you can remember, what was your first memory of when you landed in Nigeria from Ghana as a teenage Christopher Andamaga, and you arrived in Nigeria? What do you remember? And how long were you in Nigeria?
Okay, when I went to Nigeria to take care of the Jagriti or the temple, Anandamanga Shrine or temple in Lagos, Nigeria. Initially, I've never been to Nigeria before, and I don't know how to go about. But the Anandamaga Shrine was in Oshodi, Mafoluku, in Nigeria at that time, Mafoluku, Oshodi. So I went to one lady who was a very top designer in Nigeria at that time, called Esther Ede. She was living in, I cannot remember the name, but a very famous area in Nigeria, Surulere. So she was living in somewhere in, I think, Surulere, yes. So when I arrived at the border of Nigeria, I joined Danfo, or what they call the Trotro, and then they took me all the way to somewhere, and then from that place, I cannot remember where, but at the bus stop, and then I asked that I was going to go to Esther Ede, and because she was so famous and popular, I think almost everybody knew her. So they took me to Esther Ede's house, which is also her studio and shop. So there, I stayed the night there because she was also a member of the Ananda Maga at that time. She was also doing her meditation and practicing. So that's why she was a strong anchor for the organization. So from Esther's house, they took me to the place where we have the priests in Mafoluku, Oshodi area. Then from there, I started following my seniors at there. We go out and do things. And we had this lady, nun, who was from Iran. She was Iranian, Didi Manisha. They were taking care of me, and I went there. And then after that, I came back to Ghana. And then Ananda Maga had acquired a new shrine or temple or Jagriti in Palm Grove, Onikpan, Palm Grove, around there. So there was this famous car dealer called Mr. Oj Labi, and he was also in the organization. They were all doing meditation. They were practicing yoga and meditation. So he gave us a 4-story building as our Jagriti, and we have a Dada called Dada Manuvendra. The word Dada in Ananda Maga just means like reverend or father, like reverend father, just as it's in Catholic. So when I say Dada, I'm referring to a priest, and a Didi means a priestess. So so this Dada Manuvendra was from Iceland, and he was supposed to go and do some prachar, which is like propagation or trying to, what do you call it in Christianity. Crusade. Okay, we call it prachar in Sanskrit. So the Manavendra was going to Cote d'Ivoire to do a prachar and meet some members and encourage people, and he had a car accident and he died. So when he died in that car accident, then I was immediately sent from Ghana to go to the new Jagriti or ashram, as you may call in Sanskrit, to go and take over Manuvendra's place so that I can take care of the members. So I was teaching yoga at the center, and at the same time I was also teaching meditation because I was not a fully initiated monk at that time. I was just a local full-timer, they call it LFT. So I was more teaching about the philosophy as well as the yoga, and then explain what meditation was, but I could not initiate people because I was not a full priest. So that was it, and then slowly I have been there doing my work, and we did a lot of charity work, and I used to draw, write posters promoting the organization and inviting people to the yoga center. So it got to a point that people were asking me why wouldn't I start a church so that they can. Some elderly people wanted me to form a church so that they can support me to make a church because they felt that I was a good teacher, and Nigeria was and is still a very strong Christian country, and most people were only thinking about how much money we can make, but in the yoga we were not doing anything as a business. Everything was charity, and people donate our food and everything that we were doing, it was from donation. So we could not do business or make money anyway. But we were not worried because we just want to live life. We are not interested in any material world. So it didn't really matter. If I want to go somewhere, travel from one place to another, I'll just tell the members that I'm going to go from Lagos to Elisha, Akure, or wherever I wanted to go. Then they will just buy my ticket and tell me when I go who I should go and stay with. And that is also a member, so when I get there, they will take care of my feeding and my transportation and everything. So that's how I lived my life before. I was a monk, so I was just trying to become a monk. So that's that's how I lived my life before. So it was after that I felt that I wanted to join. I want to teach because Nigeria was looking for teachers. So I wanted to teach. So I went to a training college at the Ikorodu Government Teacher Training College, and then I got into the Nigerian teaching system, and I taught for 4 years as a classroom teacher for 4 years before finally leaving Nigeria for Ethiopia, then to Bombay. So that's basically what I was doing. But then when I was teacher, at the time I was teacher, I had other interests apart from the yoga. So I started learning Kabbalah, the Hebrew Kabbalah very seriously from my teacher who was called the son of Dr. Who. And I was teaching in Mushi, but then I was living in Alapere, Ketu. I used to stay in Alapere, Ketu. So I go from there every morning to the school in Mushi, community school. And I grew up there, and I really love Nigeria. I like Nigeria so much because we are the same people, and the language, especially the Yoruba language, was more closer to Ewe language, so I could easily pick the words, and I got to a point I could speak some. Now I lost most of them. I lost 99%. I could only understand a little of Yoruba this time, but at that time I could speak Yoruba. But it has been many years ago. I'm talking about from 1979 to 1984. Yeah. So I was in between Nigeria and Ghana from 1979 to 1984.
You said 1979 to 1980.
1979 to 1984. I left Lagos in 1984.
Wow. It's amazing. And Papa, was it in Nigeria that you started performing stage magic? Or
Yes, it's Nigeria.
you were doing that in Ghana?
No, I wasn't doing that in Ghana. Even though I have some people who knew magic, and from childhood, I would say I fell in love with magic, but I thought at that time that magic was spirituality. So as a child, my mind was thinking whatever the magician was doing was like a spiritual power. But I later realized, because of one of our friend called Sepenya, he was performing the magic those days, and one guy also called Manvi. They were the people who were performing magic to we, the children those days, and I was really interested. But then they won't teach you. I mean, nobody wants to teach you because they know that maybe probably when they taught you, they let you know, you may have a idea that it was a trick, so you will expose them, because our society, magicians pretend and make themselves look as if they have spiritual power. But then when you are a novice and you have not been into magic, you think so. So they will not really teach people. They will not expose their privacy or their secret to you, whereby you will expose them. So for that reason, they never taught us magic guys. But I had been around magicians from that childhood, but I didn't learn anything. We were only admiring them, because I was more interested in reality than tricks. So maybe people knew that that's what I was, and they couldn't teach me or expose themselves. But when I got to Nigeria, my teacher, son of Dr. Who, he also does spirituality at the same time, stage entertainment with Professor Pella. They are like brothers, but they are not real brothers. It is my teacher, the son of Dr. Who. His father taught Professor Pella how to be a magician. So they always interact.
The man, his name is the son of Dr. Who.
Yeah, his father was a magician called Dr. Who. But my teacher was the son of Dr. Who. After his father's death, he was living in Italy. Then he came back. I think he was living in UK. But then he married an Italian wife. Then he came back to Nigeria. And then he started performing. So his name was son of Dr. Who. So he was my teacher. So my days in Nigeria.
What was his birth name? Did you know his birth name, like Michael or Christopher?
No, I mean, I know his name, but that doesn't matter. I'm not. Everybody knows him as son of Doctor Who, so it does not matter. His name was, I think, Jide or something. I don't know. Or his brother was Jide. But everybody knows the name.
So you were saying that Doctor Who was close with Mr. Pella, Professor Pella.
The son of Doctor Who is.
Son of Doctor Who.
These things don't matter. These things don't really matter. You are talking about my story.
Sorry.
It's me you want to know what I was doing. So these people, whether they are this name, that name, this doesn't really matter. His name is son of Doctor Who. And that is the name everybody know. Even today, when you go in there, that's the name. And if you go and look for the name Professor Pella, Pella also has his own family name, but he is known more like Professor Pella. More than they have their own family names, but honestly speaking, I wasn't too much into their family name. The name that people know for them, that was what I knew for them, and that's the name I call them. So a son of Dr. Who's father, or Dr. Who, was the one who trained Professor Pella. He's actually having a family name like Abiola or something. But, I mean, if you go onto the internet, you will find their names. So my teacher's father taught magic to Pella, Professor Pella. Then when my teacher's father died, Dr. Who died, the son came back from Europe and took over the work as a magician. They were the people who would be on television or this. So he had his a shop at that time, like near at Onikpanu, near Bobby Benson Hotel. I don't know whether those hotels are still existing anymore. I'm talking about a long time ago. So that's where his shop and shrine was. But his own house was in Ketu Alakpare. That's where we were. So they were my teachers, and he taught me stage magic. I started with him. He taught me things, and then also he exposed me to a lot of things in Kabbalah. And that's where my interest began. So even when I went to India and went to the full-time training in India as a monk, I knew all this entertainment magic as well as Kabbalah already before going in to learn, become a full-time Ananda Maga monk. It's not like I didn't know. I knew all this before going. So that's why when I was in the training center, I was sometimes when we had free time, I would be able to entertain my colleagues and my student friends at the training center. People liked it. So that's my Nigerian story. And there were so many.
So you knew these things before you went to India?
Oh, long time. Yeah. But I am always a student.
Were you living with the son of Dr. Who in his house?
Yes, I lived with him. I lived with son of Dr. Who in his house. For me, because I didn't have money to pay him for anything, so I was being a houseboy for him while I was still a teacher in the school. So I tried to serve him so that he can teach me what he knows.
So you served him?
Yes, I served him. All these years that I was there, when I was there from the time I was a teacher in 1980 to 84. I lived with some other Ananda Maga friends for a while, but I moved to his place. He built a hotel. So he gave me one room in the hotel for me for free. He never took any listen. And so I also served him to prove to him that I appreciate everything that he was doing for me. So I served him as a houseboy. I took care of his children while I was still earning my salary as a teacher, because I went to teach at school before coming back. So but then he was a very good man to me, a very good man. He brought me into this entertainment world to let me know magic is not spirituality, and that magic is only for entertainment. And there's temple magic, which is spirituality, is totally different from stage magic. That's why when I write magic as entertainment, I write MAGIC. But when I write spirituality as magic, I write it MAGICK, so that you can differentiate between the two. Magic is magic based. Who is going?
So then, the son of Dr. Who had a very big impact on your life when you were very young.
Yes, very much, very, very much. He was we were a teacher and a student, but he calls me teacher. I also call him teacher.
Wow.
That he had a very big influence on me. honestly. Okay, so if
I
no
think
more,
it's a very
you said?
I think it's a very good story. I think it's a very powerful story and inspiring story of your childhood or your early beginnings and how you served many people, and not really looking for any financial gain, and whether that was in the house of the magician, or whether that was in integrity, doing work and not taking money and living off donations for quite a long time in your life. I think for a significant amount of your life, and I think you've made your own reflections, and now we have African Magic Temple today. It has a very different model. We are not on a donation model, and sometimes people think that we have just made that decision very lightly, or we are just out there because we want to just profit off people. But some of these stories going back, seeing how you acquired what you acquired, and some of the lessons that you learned doing some of this service work, because complete pure charity. For me, it's very, very enlightening. So thank you for sharing. And I think everybody listening is also very, very learning a lot from that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Senna. And is there anybody on YouTube, on not Facebook, Clubhouse, who has any more questions so that I can move on to Facebook and YouTube? Okay, let's take the question of Joe Dega on YouTube. He said Joe Dega was saying the reason, the main, said the reason I asked you that in Haiti, because he asked a question about a spirit that has been coming to sleep with him, and also whether I bought my voodoos that I have, whether I buy them. And so I think that's why he's saying the reason he was asking you that in Haiti, the ones that the people sell you, they are considered as devils or jack. They will work faster for you and see more in the light for you, and they will kill you fast. Okay, okay. Here we don't have voodoos that are killing people fast, in the sense that until you offend a voodoo cannot kill you, unless of course somebody send that to you. And even if somebody send a voodoo to destroy you, if you are on the right path and you are well protected, that voodoo cannot just come and kill you, unless you yourself you make some mistake. So whether they make voodoo and sell you and then it will work for you and kill you, then what's the purpose of getting that kind of voodoo, if there is, or if they ever existed? What is the use? Because we get voodoo so that we can make our lives, to live our lives so that our lives can progress. So what is the use to get a voodoo that will work for you and afterwards and kill you? I don't see the use in such voodoo, Joe. We don't do that at our shrine. And then we have Togbe Jigbezan so saying greetings and good day, Papa Bokor Enuledo. Togbe Jigbezan Enuledo. And then Joe Dega says, I never heard of people feeding witches. And then you have not met the real spiritualists. Joe Dega was saying, I never, where is it? Okay, I never heard of people feeding witches. You feed spirits you can feed them. Chicken, pig, cow, goat, they drink blood mostly, but they also like human food and rum and cola. Okay, the way we feed witches. We feed spirits, we feed witches too, when the witches demand that you should feed them so that they can lift their hands off your progress or whatever you are doing. We do feed them. And it depends on what the witch wants you to feed them with. Then we feed them with that. And truly, when we do it properly, according to what the oracle tells us, we see results. So we have a... Have you ever asked yourself who a witch is? A lot of time people make the mistake by thinking that there is a particular person who is called a witch, or there is a group of people sitting somewhere in some old place or some old women who are called witches, like in the Disney movies and all kind of African drama movies that we see, Hollywood, Gollywood, and they create witch to be somebody with a very long nose and a skinny, frail body, and like he's going to die, and very ugly face. That's what people think that witches are. Public relation, I will tell you that witches are everybody that does not want your progress. A person could be your brother, could be your sister, could be your colleague at work, could be people you just meet, could be your friends. Anybody who has negative mind towards your progress and is not happy to see you happy, that person is a witch. And are you going to be able to cut them all off from your life? No, you can't, because you interact with people every day of your life. So there is no way you can know the minds of everybody who you interact with. But when we are doing a reading, and in the reading, and the reading says that witches are disturbing you, what it is referring to is that people that you interact with every day, they don't want to see you progressing. Whenever you are walking, you are doing things, or even talking, some within their heart of hearts, they just wish you do not succeed. Those are the people we call witches. So you are not going to be able to identify anybody as a witch. So when witches come in your reading, what we ask the witches are, why are you in the life of this person? What are you doing? Or what are you people doing in this person's life? Sometimes also the person has offended us, or the person has done this. And what is the offense? Maybe you just insulted somebody at your office, or you are going and somebody was walking by and you look at the person with a scorn eye, or you said something that is not very interesting, and the person develop hatred for you. That energy can turn into what we call witchcraft, and it can be blocking your chances. So for us to remove that roadblocks, or the blocks that are blocking your road or on your road that is not making you to progress, we call it witches feeding, or we are feeding the witches so that we can clear off that face. In Ewe Vodu, which is the original Voodoo, the word Voodoo is Ewe word. If anybody else in any part of the world is practicing what and the person mentions and calls it Voodoo, you should know that the origin comes from the Ewe language. Vodu, give freedom to a community. That which gives freedom to a community is called Voodoo. So we, the original owners of the word Voodoo, in our Voodoo, we do not attack witches. We negotiate with them. That's what it is. So we have a Joe Dega again here. The main reason I follow you, I used to be on spiritual path, come from a Christian family, so it kind of hindered me and should slow me down, because my mom is a Protestant and she does not want me doing. Oh yeah, Joe, we are all from Christian background. As you can know, my name is Christopher. That's the name my father gave me. And if I were not to be baptized at the church, they wouldn't have been called Christopher. Of course, these days people just give name to their children just to make them look like they are smarter. But in our days, when you are baptized in the church, they give you Christian name. So my name is Christopher. And the word Christopher is coming from a Greek word, which means that which carries the Christ in his heart or within him. That's the meaning of Christopher. And that's the name my father gave me. The one who carries Christ within him. Not the one that is doing it outside and showing off and dancing and say, I'm Christian. But the one that carries the Christ within him is called Christopher. That's the name that my father chose for me. So that should also tell you that I was also a Christian at one time. Whether your father or your mother or your people do not want you to practice a traditional religion, it is up to you as a person. It is your life. It's not their life. If you want to make your life a better life, you can. Because my grandfather was a traditional priest. But my father was sent to school, so he became a Christian. So he felt that for all of us to have our life to go on, we should follow his path of Christianity, which we did. I got to an age where I felt that, no, this is not enough for me, and I'm not finding any reason to continue. Because in my heart of hearts, I don't like to cheat people. I don't like to deceive people. I want to tell people the truth. If I'm going to beat you, I'll tell you I'm coming to beat you. If you can prepare and wait for me, you'll prepare, I'll come. But I won't tell you, oh, there's nothing happening, and then I'll pass through your back and stab you. I'm not that kind of person. So I didn't find Christianity interesting at a certain point in my life, so I left it. Whether my parents like it or they don't like it, after all, I'm not going to live my life for them. I live my life for me. So you can say your mother didn't want you, your father didn't want you. Those are all excuses. There are so many things that your parents did not want you to do, but you did. So why this one? So Joe, we are all from a Christian background too. That's why we have Christian names. And then Joe again is saying in the hole in the front, I found 8 pointed stars ring, all gold. I mean, that's you. That's what you see. I don't know. Then the spirit that was with me that told me to do the job is called Agaro. Okay, spirits have all names. I'm not a spirit. I don't know all the names of all spirits. Open it. See who is there first. Merakuba, come. I'm in a live session where 5 p.m. matter actually happen. Kofi, no one more home. No one more home. So Joe, you see, there are so many spirits in the world, and I cannot know the name of all spirits. So Agaro may be a spirit, but it's not a spirit that is known to me. And then Said moved this thing up so I can read what is there. Then Joe again, he said the spirit that was with me as Agaro. And then he said again, in me and that spirit worked for a lot of people. He taught me how to do a lot of magic and how to help people. I did it for 4 years, and my mom told me to stop, so I did. Long story short, I lost my ring. Okay, I have never come in contact with any spirit like that yet. Yeah. I want to get my powers back, and I'm embarrassed to go back to the Bokor, especially without the ring. So is it the Bokor that gave you the ring, or you say you found it in a hole? Which one is which one? Did you find the ring in a hole, or it's a Bokor that who gave you the ring? Because the way your story is like you got the ring in a hole, and then the spirit in the ring was this, and you had worked with it. So how come a Bokor story come in again without the ring? Anyway, that's your story. And Joe, the guy, is again saying, I want to get my powers. Okay. The gay community is welcome in Voodoo and in all spirituality. Yes, I agree with you 100%, just like I said earlier. We have Jarman say, good morning, Togbe. It's been a while. It's okay to call you after the program. Yes, it is. You can call me. Then Joe again, Joe Dagger is saying, Voodoo, there is no heaven, there is no hell. Yes, that's it. That's what I know. We don't have a hell, we don't have a heaven. It's Christianity who has that. Okay, let's go to Facebook and see if we have people there. Okay, we had a Telly Marie Telly who from there. Now go down. Let's see. Like all those ones, and then we know where we have been. And then okay, Jack Asojebi, please, if you can inbox me the fees to get into training, I will be glad. Joe, I don't have any fees to get into training, just like I had said. I don't have any fees to get into training. This is not like a free free SHS. No. If you want to know, or you want to be a student, come for consultation. That's what I said. I have no fees to line up and send it to you that come and pay this fee and come for training. Come for consultation. The spirits will tell us the type of person you are, whether you are qualified to be trained or you are not qualified to be trained. The spirits will be able to know the things that you have in secrecy that nobody knows about. They will tell us what. That's why I said that come for consultation. It is not a question of saying, tell me the fees so that I'll come and pay. I don't do my work like that. I'm sorry. Then we have Telly Mali. Telly says, so sorry to hear, Baba. Please get better, praying for you. Oh, thank you very much, all of you, for your concern about my health. I will be fine. I'll be fine. It's part of the job. We have Solomon Boatin in Canada saying, greetings, Papa, and the great AMT families. I've started working on Sunday too, so couldn't watch you. Papa, things are working. They have to work. By all means. Solomon, I told you long time, things will work. And if they are working, I'm glad to hear that. When you are done today or during the week, when you are free, call me so we can discuss one or two. Thank you. I'm very happy for you that things are working. I'm very grateful for the spirits that are working with you. Then we have Dr. Henry Hansen, the ways are low, Papa. Thank you, Doc. Papa, good to see you again. And when you dream that you transition, ancestor is sick. Your transition ancestor is sick. What does it mean? I'm not very sure, but when you when your transition ancestor is sick, then probably your ancestors are weak, and you must do a reading and continue with the feeding. If that is it, we have to find out what it is. But then, if somebody is sick, that usually means the person is weak, and that also could mean that the support that they are giving you, they cannot support you strongly like they should because they are weak. So do a reading and find out what exactly that dream is, and then you will be guided on the right thing to do. Thank you very much, Doc. And then we have our sister Oluchi Osuonke. Great evening, Papa, with peace and love. I hope I'm not too late. Sorry, I came late, Papa. My great regards to the family. Thank you very much, big sister. You are not too late. We are just answering questions from one single person for a very long time, but people are not sending in questions. So when one person sends more questions, we want to learn. We all are learning from his questions. So thank you very much for joining in. Peace and love to you and the family. Thank you very much. Then we have Shani Caldwell. Hello all. Hello Shani, how are you? Thank you very much for joining us. And then we have Mike Thomas. Hello Togbe, can you dedicate a day where you... Hello Togbe, can you dedicate a day where you talk about Joker or Zoka? No, I don't want to do that because I am here talking about the way the people ask me questions. Don't forget this section, this our weekly, this is a question and answer section. So when people ask me questions concerning Joker, And if I know the answer, I will answer. And if people ask me a question about Vodu, and if I know the answer, I will answer. But I'm not going to dedicate a day to say I'm going to talk about one joker. No, I'm not doing that. It's a question and answer section. So if anybody asks me some question concerning a joker, and if I know the joker, I'll talk about it. But if I don't have any idea about it, I cannot talk about it. So that's why I cannot dedicate a day for Zoka or Zoka as talking about it. And Senna had briefly talked about this, but we would like to hear your input. I'm not very sure because I'm not on Senna's page always. The things that Senna discusses with you people on the platform, I'm not always on that page to be able to know what he is saying. If I am alerted in my inbox that somebody asks some question and then it comes to me, then I will answer it. But I don't go much trying to learn about everything that Senna discusses on his platform. But of course, everything that Senna discusses on his platform is things that he learned from me and from the other teachers that I have introduced him to. So if you bring a question concerning Joker, I will answer it. Thank you very much, Mike Thomas. Then we have a Stack Bliss. Aboru Aboye Aboshishe Baba. Thank you very much, Bolu Bokite. That's how I ever say Oyibolu, Oyibo Bola. Bokite, that's it. Bolu Boya Bokite. So the ever say Oyibolu Boya Bokite. So it is actually Yoruba that has been adulterated to that way. Your Aboru Aboye Abosise. But then in Ewe Vodu, we don't use that in greeting. We don't use the Yoruba version of Aboru Aboye Abosise because that is more of Ifa line. But then in Ewe Afa, it's a very simple, and in Ewe Vodu is very simple. Enulendo. I bow down to you. That's the literal translation. So we don't use Aboshishe, Aboye, Aboru as it is in Yoruba. This is, but it's all in place. So Enulendo. Yeah. Then we have Shamba Musa Mohammed say greetings, Papa. Hello, Shamba. Very sorry that this development that came up that you could not arrive tomorrow. But then everything that happens has a reason. So, my brother, my son, don't be worried at all. Everything has its own place. So just take it easy. If God and the spirits that you work with, the ancestors, believe that you should be here, you will be here. And the right time will always be the right time. God's time will always be the right time. My regards to your mom, your daddy, and your senior brother. Thank you very much for joining the section. Let's go. And then we have Stack Bliss again. May you share how long one should live. May you share how long one should live offering. Okay, means if you offered, if I can understand your question, Stack Bliss, if I can answer your understand your question, means when you leave an offering to a spirit, how long they should leave it there? Is that what you are trying to find out? Please, if you are listening to me, please send the question back again so that I can know if that's what you are trying to ask, whether how long to leave an offering at the shrine of a spirit. Okay, in here in our shrine and most Ewe shrines, there are certain offerings that you just leave it there until it becomes ash, or it becomes sand. It depends. But if you are talking about on your altar, then you may leave it a day, and the following day you pick it up, or you may leave it there for a week, and then you later throw it away. So I think your instinct should be able to tell you. This is where we all have some little problem. See, when you are doing spirituality, and you have got a deity or got a voodoo, people are calling it a shrine. When you get these things, this spirit should be the one who will be communicating with you and telling you what to do. You don't use your own personal imagination to do things anymore, because that's why you have been introduced to the spirit. Unless, of course, you just went to some botanical, or you just went somewhere and bought something and come and put it on your table and call it your ancestors, or put a picture and then call them whatever. Spirits should be able to guide you if you are following the real spirit. Spirit should be able to guide you through your instincts and tell you what should be done and what shouldn't be done. Like this basic question of how long should I leave an offering on my altar? Then you should ask the spirit that, okay, is it okay for me to take this offering away from you now? Or should I leave it here? A simple question of yes and no should be able to give you peace of mind. And the spirit that you are working with, if it is real and alive, it should be able to tell you. That's why proper spiritual route or path is suggested or is advised, so that go through the proper spiritual path, so that these things cannot be difficult for you, should not be difficult for you anymore, because spirituality is to enhance and to make you grow. It is not like just having an image and every day, like what we have had in the church, put a cross and every day you go there, you pray to the cross. By the time you get to the gate, a car knocks your child. Well, so many things have been happening, and people still say, oh, they say, oh, you don't worry, when you go to heaven, you go and enjoy. Which heaven? Where is the heaven? If the God that you worship cannot help you here and show you things that you should do and take you away from serious problems, or create a comfort zone for you, then what is that God worth worshiping? Ask yourself, why do we worship God? Or why do we worship spirit? Or why do we get involved in spirit? Because we want our life to be better, so that if there is life after this life, then it should even be better. You are suffering here, you can't get money even to buy sugar to put inside your cocoa. Then you are telling yourself that you are worshiping the greatest God. And when you see a small cowrie like this, if somebody put it at your door, when you run to your pastor, say, somebody put a cowrie at my door, they want to kill me. Just cowrie. And you are worshiping the mightiest God in all world. Look, we must be joking. Yeah. That's why me, from childhood, I challenged these things, because I couldn't understand. If something that you say is so powerful, why should you be with such a thing and then be afraid again? But that's what we are. So start your altar, your spirit, that whoever introduced that spirit to you should be able to tell you. The spirit should be able to give you advice how long an offering should be left at their altar. But for me, as I said earlier, it is either you put it here today, you take it tomorrow, or the maximum maybe 7 days, or just leave it there. Like when we do legba, we will leave the legba there for how many days? Sometimes it's there for months, until it becomes like a dust or sand. We throw it away, but it's just there, because the work has, we even hear the answer of the work, that the work has been fulfilled already. That then maybe that time we throw away. But generally, it depends on what, because like my friend Kunyuari in Wintupan in Thailand, who has a lot of voodoos, Thai voodoos with her. She saved the food in the morning, and the afternoon time she removed the morning one and saved afternoon, and then she removed the afternoon one and then saved in the evening. Then the following morning they save again. So she saved her voodoos 3 times a day, and she has boys and girls who are, their work is to be changing the food for them. And she's one of the greatest in the whole of Thailand, if not the world. So it depends. Your energy should be, your spirit that you are dealing with should be able to give you guidance. So you said a yes at that place, and then you are again saying, may you share how long one should leave an offering. That's what I'm saying. It depends on each and every spirit. Yeah, like my colleague, my essay leader Agbame. When I give it food today, by the time I give it the following day, I take it. I cannot leave it to be bad food in front of the voodoo to be smelly. So I immediately take it. And then there are some voodoo you feed them and you can live on top of them. If my voodoo calls sugu, if you feed it today, tomorrow morning you must go and take the food. So it depends on what you call spirit or what you are doing. Everybody has what they are dealing with. And the way I deal with my spirits, each one has its own way, the way I deal with them. So I cannot have a general idea to say this is how, but I know that it is a day or following day you pick it up, you leave it up there for maximum 1 week and you pick it up. That should be okay, I think so. But otherwise, you should communicate with the energy you are feeding, because the energy cannot just be eating and cannot communicate with you, then it's useless. Whether they are your ancestors or whatever, if they are with you, you must be able to communicate with them. Yes, and then we have Abraham Leon saying, good morning, Papa. A Dutch spirit lives in the yard. How do I feel it? Do you know the name of the Dutch spirit? If you don't know the name of the Dutch spirit, is it your spirit? Why do you want to feed it? So when you say generally that a Dutch spirit lives in the yard, how do you know a Dutch spirit lives in the house, in the yard? And do you have the name of the Dutch spirit? If you don't, find out what exactly is living there. Don't just assume from stories. Find out. That's the correct way to do spiritual practice. You don't do spiritual practice or do things on assumption and speculations. Finding out information about what you are about to delve into is the way to do spirituality. Spirituality is not just imagination, that you just imagine things and then you think that they are spirits. Imagination helps what you are dealing with, but you must know what you are dealing with before your imagination can push it up. So, Abraham Leon, find out what you have in the yard. Then you can know the name, or at least have some relationship, or have some idea about what type of spirit it is before you even think of feeding it. Then we have Fifi York, or is it Fifi Yorke? Okay. And then, please, when can I come around for reading and healing? Having serious problem with voices. My brother Fifi, what you do is that they will type the telephone number for the shrine, which is 0262. Give him that. Put it at his place. Reply to him. They put the AMT number so he can call and book an appointment for a reading. They will explain everything to you, what you should do and how you can come, things you have to bring when you're coming for consultation. +262 plus 233. Don't put 0 there. Just plus 233. 262 367-578. So that's it. So that's the African Magic Temple number. When you call that number, Fifi, they will be able to give you guidelines for necessary the necessary things, and you can always come when they have confirmed when you will come. Thank you. Are we still Clubhouse? Are you still there?
Yes, Papa. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nuku. How are you?
I'm fine, Papa. And how are you too?
I'm good, but for these few days I've been a little bit not myself, but I'm praying and hoping that I will get my energy level back. Thank you.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. I have two questions. The first is that are there herbs or drugs that can negatively affect your ability to communicate with spirits or your ancestors? Like, are there herbs or drugs that can have a temporary or long-term effect of something like that? And then the second thing is that, okay, yesterday you had a show about the importance of doing end of years reading, but some of us were not here. So please, I was wondering if you could tell us why it's important to do end of year readings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nuku. The first question is that in Ewe Vodu, we don't use drugs. In Ewe Vodu, we don't use any hallucination drugs to bring you to a state of communicating with spirits. However, we have herbs that they will ask you to bath. Some you will smoke them as in a fumigation. Some you squeeze into your ears. Some will be squeezed onto your eyes. Some may even be squeezed into your fingernails and your toenails. But I don't even remember any herb that you can drink that will change your push your mental level or psychic level to be able to communicate with spirit. It is not in Ewe Afa or Ewe Vodu whereby you have to take a drug that will push you or push your mind to be able to communicate with spirits anywhere. The only thing that if the alcohol is regarded as drug, then maybe when people drink alcohol, they get drunk a little bit in such a way that maybe they are able to be receptacle to receive information or whatever. I don't know. Even that one I cannot even be sure, because when you are drunk, you may be forming your own imagination and be saying things and be telling lies to people that it is the spirit that is telling you. But because other people could not hear the spirit, people would intend to be believing what we are saying. Like some of these our friends who are doing some kind of things that they are calling spirits and calling ghosts and all kind of things. People are very funny in this work. They don't, people think spirituality is not real, so people create things by themselves and begin to use that on others who they know that are totally out of the scene, and tell them stories. And those people too, because they say it's a spiritual thing, and people become afraid, so they don't question whether what this person is saying is real or it's a lie. But the truth about it, that spirituality is so real, like ABC. And if you go through the correct teacher, it makes it easy for you to understand that spirituality is real. And that's also give us the existence of the spiritual world, because there is a world where these entities are. And then if you are able to find the correct linkage or connection, you will be able to connect with this world whereby you can actively interact and communicate with them. But if you don't know, if you don't know, people will just deceive you with everything. Somebody will say, "Oh, I got this thing," and then the thing is powerful. I got it. It's all sometimes. When I listen to people, I wonder why I had never had that experience with all these years. So, but then everything that I learn it through teachers and proper way, and then I know what was true and what was deceit, and then I took the one that can work for me well. So sometimes it is very interesting when people talk about spirits and how their spirits work with them and the kind of things spirits can do. But I haven't seen those things. No. Spirit can do things, but the ones that I have said, of course, that's what I usually teach about. What is just a story, to me, is just a story, and I don't know how to talk about stories if they are not real. So when I listen to people talking about how Baba Legba came to their house and was standing at the door, and I mean, I never experienced this kind of things. The only experience that I had in my life is either I invoke the spirit to come and then I communicate with the spirit. And the other one was when I was young, when I went to the pit toilet and I saw the dwarf. And I was with nobody. I was about 7 years old. And I don't even have the whole answer to it. I didn't even know it was a dwarf. So it was later when I started growing up that, even honestly speaking, I never even told my mother what I saw. I never told anybody. I kept it inside my mind, but it has always been with me that I had seen this. And I was alone. So maybe if I had told my mother, they would have told my grandfather, and they would have done some rituals and everything. But I never told anybody. I wasn't scared. So when people say this, their spirits are doing this, their spirit can do this, their spirit can do that, sometimes I'm lost. But I am not everybody, and I'm not the only one who knows about spirituality in the world. So I will just accept whatever people say, but then I'll accept it with a small Q inside. So anyway, so that's it. So Nuku, that's your first question. There is no drug that can alter your mental status to hallucinate you or take you to spirit world or make you communicate with spirit. It is not in Ewe Vodu. I think it's in South African, South American, and maybe in the Native American district. But in our Ewe Vodu, no, there isn't anything as such. But then we communicate with the spirit world very perfectly, very actively, and not under any intoxicant or not even under alcohol or anything. We can always tune in to the spirit realm and be able to experience it and bring matters back into the physical realm. We in Ewe Vodu, when you go through a proper teacher, you can attain that. It is not a drug thing. And then your other question was about the yesterday we were talking about the end of year readings. What I was discussing was, I don't know whether it was yesterday or before the last week. I was talking about when you enter into the new year, you do a reading to find out what is in the year for you, things that you should avoid, things that you should go after, how to take care of your life so that the year can be a fruitful year for you. And that reading, we are going to start from the night after the celebration, which will be after midnight. We'll be doing a reading for people who want to do a New Year reading. You see, a lot of time when New Year comes, people say New Year resolution. Then this year, I'm not going to smoke alcohol, smoke cigarette again. I'm not going to eat meat. I'm going to be a vegan. And then 1 week, 2 weeks, the man is hiding somewhere to smoke because he made that statement in front of people. So now, I'm not going to drink beer anymore. Oh no, but this is the reality of life. Then they say, I don't want to eat meat. Then you go to Zongo, go and eat wache, and then you put a big pomo or a wele on top. Then he hide in one corner. He finish and then he wash his mouth and come home. And people think that, the man has not eaten the whole of today because we have not seen him eating. He says he's not eating meat. So that kind of hypocrisy that has been part of our life is there. So people make resolutions, New Year resolutions and all these things, but it doesn't get anywhere. One reason is because they just want to impress people. Whereas in real spirituality, you ask the spirit world, what is going to happen in my life this year? How is life going to be for me this year? And the spirit is going to tell you, this year, opportunities are going to come into your life, but with those opportunities also, there is a possibility of death going alongside that good opportunity. So do this, do that, and stop the death that will follow the opportunity, and you can enjoy the opportunity when it comes to you. So what use it is that you'll be promoted in your office, or you win a lottery, and then within a few days you die. Then it is useless. You will not enjoy it. That's called in Ewe Jasima Jenu. It comes to your hand, but it cannot reach your mouth. Jasima Jenu. So what you do is that do a reading, find out what your new year that you enter. You don't do it in the old year. You do it in the new year. It's not like the old year that you do the reading, what will be mine. When the new year starts, that's the time you do the reading to ask your soul, your essay, your inner self, or your atma, your destiny. What is in this period for me? What should I do to be able to live and enjoy life to the brim or to the maximum? That's what you do. So that's why the New Year readings are very important, so that you can know your way in the year that is going to come. Because the New Year coming is the year of a lot of Saturn, the spirit or the planet Saturn. And Saturn has a lot of darkness in it. So there would be wars, attacks, personal wars, hatred, all kind of. But then you can still get love also within hatred. So what you do is that find out what this year is going to be for you, and then you know how to live your life so that you will live again and another year will end. So Nuku, that's my answer to your second question.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
You are very much welcome.
I wanted to make a small note. The first one, we were talking about the ways that people think they can enhance it, but I was thinking about another perspective, that the herbs and the drugs, can they negatively impact it also? So like, can you reduce your ability in that perspective? Are there things like that?
Herbs, in the herbal kingdom or in nature, there are certain herbs that are poisonous, and there are certain herbs that are not poisonous. So the herbs that are used to enhance your spiritual growth are there. And then, of course, the herbs are also what make the voodoo. Every voodoo that is created or formed, one way or the other, herbs are involved. So people can use herbs also to retard your progress. And they can use herbs to also make you move forward or develop yourself. So herbs can be used in both ways. But then the correct herbs that will be used to enhance your ability to hear and listen to spirits or get in touch with the spiritual realm are also there. And then, of course, there are certain people who by nature, their eyes just open without them doing any serious spiritual work. Or maybe they will be doing some spiritual work that has gone wrong because they did not know what they were following. Those are the people sometimes we say they are hallucinating, or they are mad people, they are crazy. There are herbs that can be used also to close those ears from hearing things that they are hearing. And there are herbs that can be used to close the eyes from seeing the things that they are seeing. Because if you are seeing things and you are hearing things, and other people are not seeing and other people are not hearing, who do you think you are? You are a mad person. You are a mad person.
Okay.
That's why they are calling them, what do they call it? There's a name for it. People who are crazy. There's another name for them. Say they are mentally challenged because they are not thinking well. And they are not normal. They say abnormal. They are no more normal. Because the normal people do not hear those things. The normal people do not see those things. So if you start to see and you are all standing here, everybody is standing near you, before you know that one person started running and say, hey, they are coming. Everybody is looking around. They're not seeing anybody coming. How would they call you? This man is abnormal. It's crazy. Because that person's extrasensory perceptive abilities have developed normally or abnormally. Either they try something or somehow something happened to them, and their mind tune into that, and they begin to see and they begin to hear. And if it is not their own way and they didn't want it, then someone has to find herbs that will close those eyes and close those ears from hearing things that they are not supposed to hear. That's why I think we advise people that it's not like people have been asking on the Sunday section and also on Revolution platform and other that. So can you teach me which herb to use to open my eyes? Can you teach me which herb I can use to hear spirits? We don't even know you. What can we tell you? Give you a herb, and then if whether you are qualified or you are not qualified, whether you have reached that standard or not, and they open your eyes, and you begin to see people walking with their head and their legs up. What will you do? If you don't take time, you kill yourself before you reach where you want to reach. So herbs can do and undo. It is the knowledge and the wisdom of the herbs that can help one to choose which is the right one to use at the time that it is needed.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
You are very much welcome. And then,
Papa.
Yes, hello.
Papa, hello. Greetings to you.
Yeah, is that Bokor Menuhati?
Yes, greetings to Senna.
Okay.
I wanted to ask a follow-up.
Yes, go ahead.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
Huh?
Go ahead, Bokor Menuhati.
Oh, okay. I watched the video with Senna, and he was speaking on how it is important to test the spirit, to make sure that they work for you, and to make sure that they are working and done right. I just wanted to go through this explanation for my own self more.
Mm-hmm.
And when the most interesting part of the video is that he said sometimes, you may not be at a place where you have received a certain voodoo or a spirit, and you're not developed enough yet to communicate fully with this spirit.
Right.
20 years down the line, you might grow and gain that energy or power to be able to communicate. But two-part question.
Yeah.
What is the importance and the real meaning of taking our spirits or our dooms through trial, or not through trial of the test to make they're working? What is the true purpose of that, and what does that actually mean? An American word, they can kind of get, cloudy. So what do we mean by test?
Okay.
And then go ahead, yes, Bob.
Yes, Bokor Menuhati Kemaata, thank you very much for that question. Who?
Bokor Wakiri.
Bokor Wakiri, okay. I thought it was Menuhati, okay. That's why I said people, because I'm not really seeing. Okay, Bokor Wakiri. See, the point is that when you have a gun, let's use the voodoos as gun or knife.
Right.
When you have a gun and you bought the gun and you have never tested it whether it can fire, can shoot properly, or the knife, whether the knife is really sharp enough to cut things for you, you are keeping them and you know you have a knife or you have a gun. Maybe one day somebody comes to attack you, and then you rush into your room and pick up your gun and you want to fire it and it does not fire. What will happen to you? Your attacker will overcome you. So it is with spirits. when spirits are given to you, how will you know that the spirit is a real spirit? Or it is just something someone gave you and called some name for it and told you that it's a spirit? It is until you test the spirit, you give it a task. And if the spirit is able to accomplish the task within a certain time that you have stipulated for the spirit to cover the task, then you know you have a spirit that you can work with. And you know that you have a spirit that you can trust. But then the test also will not be just one time. You will be testing the spirit from time to time to make sure it is always sharpened and always active to work with you. Because if you don't do that, the problem will be the time you needed the spirit, thinking that you have a spirit, it will not work for you. It may just be something you are carrying and thinking is a spirit. It may not be a spirit after all. For this reason, when you have a spirit, you must test the spirit and make sure it is a real spirit. You know, every time I speak on other people's questions, I say, if it is a real spirit. Because so many people have so many things that are not spirits. But people, because they were told that it's a spirit or it's a voodoo or voodoo, people are keeping them, pouring drink and all these things. Yet still, they are not seeing any changes in their life. If the spirit is real and it is a real voodoo, it should be able to work for you. And how will you know? It is only when you give it a task and it accomplishes that task. Then when you are feeding it or saying thank you to it, you know that it has worked for you. But without that, how can you be sure that you have a voodoo? So at our shrine, for us, we are testing all spirits. And if I have a spirit that I have tested it and give it a task and it is not fulfilled the task, Senna will tell you and everybody will tell you, I will never feed that spirit again. I don't give it food, I don't give it drink. Even if I'm praying, I don't call its name. Because it's not working, that means it's not a spirit for me. If a spirit that I got or paid money to be made for me cannot work with me, why should I feed it? I don't feed spirits out of fear. If it cannot work for me as I wanted, or the tax I give you, that means you and I have no relationship whatsoever. You can be in my shrine, but I will not feed you. It's just like you have a child in your house. When you send him to do any work, he doesn't do any work, only sleeping and eating. Hey, I'll let you go hungry and then you wake up. So,
it makes a lot of sense.
Baba Wakiri, that's my take, because for me, I would not be feeding any inanimate energy or even inanimate object which does not even have energy.
Right. Exactly. And yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baba Wakiri. I'm very grateful for the question.
I thank you for the answer because, you know, I've been spiritual all my life, but as we still grow and as we learn, you know, you have all different things that come at you. And at times, you wonder certain things.
Right.
Certain spirits you may have that are, you know, like you say, not as strong with you than they may be with other people.
Right.
So to be able to relocate how to actually deal with this. But that test, I just wanted to go deeper in terms of the African mindset. Because here in America, they'll say, oh, don't test spirit. But that's a lot of Christianity fear.
Right. You know? That's very true.
Don't say anything to God. Don't question God. Don't question the pastor. I have something I always say, and some people may laugh. I just say they're going to have to show me.
Definitely.
Because I am here living. And so show me, because I am going through things, and I need to be shown. Just as a physical person says they're your friend, prove it to me.
That's very true. That's how it should be.
Well, thank you.
If you have God that you worship and you pray to God, and every day you are hungry and you don't have food on your table, you don't have water, you don't have drink on your table, and then you will take food to God that you are saving and take drinks to God and go and pay money to God, or people who say they represent God, and you are hungry every time. My advice is that forget about that God. It doesn't work.
Right. Thank you, Pop.
You're welcome. Thank you too. Okay, we have on Facebook Diamond Cash, Blessings Papa, and AMT family. Thank you, big sister. We are very grateful that you join us. And then our sister Oluchi say, "Oh, Papa, so sorry you are not doing okay. Get strong, Papa. Much love and peace." Thank you very much, sister. I'm very, very grateful. Yeah, I will be okay. Because I was asking myself and I was telling the spirits around me that this is the time I am about to feed you people. I'm just starting the ceremony, and then you're making me sick. If you really want to eat, then you have to let me get strong so that I can feed you. Because if I am sick, how am I going to be able to feed you? So I was bathing this morning before coming on this program, and I told them that I wasn't even sure whether I will have the energy to be able to do today's program. But I need to talk about them. I need to teach people about them. So they have to make me strong. And here I am talking to you as if nothing is happening. So that's how spirit is supposed to be tested. You don't just sit with them and then say, oh, they are okay. Don't test God. Who is God? Yes, thank you very much, Big Sister Oluchi. I'm very grateful. And then we have Safo Richard here, Senior Papa. I'm pleased to see you again. How can one use village or town rivers and mountains to help us? What time appropriate to go to such places? Mr. Safo, the thing is that each river in our African lands, or especially in Ewe land, even streams are believed to have spirits that possess them or spirits that they belong to. And also, they have priests on priests of or priestesses of these rivers that attend to them. So, you having a river in your village, you must find the name of the river and then find a priest that is in the area who is responsible for that river or mountain and ask them questions. Like I was always saying, or I had always said, is that don't do things that you don't know anything about. Because if I tell you that, oh, go to the river at dawn and do it, maybe in your area, you don't go to the river at dawn. Or go to the river on Friday and go and do this thing. Maybe in your area, the river that is in your area, they don't go there on Friday. So me giving you advice to tell you how you can use the rivers in your area for would be the wrong person. But I know that the rivers that I know who are in my area, there are the river Dying, which is in my area. Normally they don't go there on Friday, but now everybody goes there on Friday. And if I am going to use the river water to do anything, I let people go at dawn without speaking to anyone and go and fetch it in a container and bring to me, and then this thing. But I don't just let them go and fetch it. I let them take a drink or take some coins or take some cowries that they will drop at the river bank and tell the river that, oh, we are coming to fetch your water so that we can use it for this and that. I don't just go there and take it for free. And sometimes even I take a whole bottle of schnack and go to the river and let it fall into the river. Not that the river is going to open that drink and drink, but one day maybe somebody will be passing, or the water will move the bottle up to somewhere. Somebody will find that bottle of drink totally intact, and then they will be happy and they will have fun. And that happiness that they will get is the river that gave it to them, and the happiness will come back to me too. So you have to study about the area you are in, look for the person who is in charge of the mountain or the river and ask them questions and let them guide you. That will be the best answer for your or to your question. And big sister Oluchi said, "Oh yeah, Papa, I would love to do my reading for the new year. Peace and love. Thank you very much, big sister. We will do that for you." And then Abraham Leon said, "Papa, I live in Guyana, South America. Would you be able to do consultation or reading for me?" Yes, we do consultation for people all around the world. We do online consultation, we do physical consultation. So you don't have a problem with that at all. The only thing is you need to get in touch with us. We will send you our details, and when you send the consultation money, we will be able to call you. You will speak your language or whatever language that suits you. You can speak best. We don't need to pre-listen to you whatsoever. We at our shrine, we don't listen to your story before doing your consultation. Say it in your language. Say it the best way you can. Express yourself, and then the oracle will be able to pick the information and tell you exactly what is happening in your life and what you should do to fix it. So we do consultation all around the world. It's only we don't have anybody living on the moon. Otherwise, we would have been going to the moon too. Now, when you are done with that typing, please take me to what do you call it? YouTube, and let's see. I think we have so many questions there too. China paint and paint no. Miami abajo no su gwa gri mo aparo. Ya ta le pora bati jino paint de. Manta no su gwa me jiro gwa baba gbe. Okay, we are back on YouTube, and I think the last question is was from Joe Dega, and then now we have German. Good morning, Togbe. It's been a while. Okay, that's it's okay to call your. Okay, I had read that one too, and okay, then we have that boy from 305. Better keep your money. The reading is useless. Thank you very much, that boy from 305. You are a stupid man. It's okay. You leave him there. Leave him there. Let him write. That boy from 305. You are. No, leave it there. Leave it there. If the reading is useless, then it is him that it is useless for. People have gained from readings all over the world, so it is him that it is useless for. Is that the last question? Yes. Okay, then forget it. Leave him whatever he wants to say. That reading. How many times have you done reading with me before? Maybe I don't even know you. You don't even know me, and the reading is useless. It's useless for you. Whatever you are, he's following you. It's you that it's following. Okay, so we are done with Facebook too. There's no question there. Okay, so people on in Clubhouse, please, you can come up again if you have any question, because I want to close this section today. I have works to do. Okay, I think I will assume that there is no more question from Clubhouse also. So I can go on and then pour libation and close today's section. Oh, ago, tabu mama madu ago. Atape. Mayo abochi sakraka beto ababe adogo kotokoli don ko okunu mako agba ngbe to bono le cho franka bani kifin kwa bisinka ko fito japa ku beto to ko fito hen ko fi atra mayo kable mayo eye mayo to ba ho bato mayo mi apete yo aplegede mayo mi apete o mayo ke yo gbere mi na ngwa apeli para kakraka mayo ra ke mba ha hanami ya na kwera be bi agba sa asira be ne ba ya wele ngba emile nyatepe nyime no ngogbe na kada mulo afeli afepo gundo sagbaja ko bifo afeli to agbe ni afeli to esin afeli to o me yo chiefing na mi aha ye me yo apraku adase do me me do apalimbo e ku aje etere gbagba mo ko kwa na do ku yo na aha ni gbogbo re nto nyawe ye fodu e ko klam yo to be da male bo ke ma do nu ba sabo ko no gbe ni male ko me le godo ko le nu ko aha na ni ke ye me yo akintola ni obo bo do le mi awu mi le asine dilo to ne bala mesese me ba me obete ejo programme gbere o agbe no na obo mo no bu e pe yi me gero mi no de pe ne de mo now. May the new year open its doors for the people that are working with us, and may the spirits of this shrine and their ancestors continue to help them or open doors for them. Egbeche tore mi de level, there's more work to do. May the health of each and every one of them be improved, and may my health also be improved. Akpe. Thank you, everybody. And I am done with today's section. I think next Sunday is going to be, which date will be next Sunday? Can somebody tell me? Okay, 19 or 18? 19. Okay, so next Sunday too we will have some time for the section. Then because we are going to be very busy from the 20th, 21st going. So I think Senna had posted something on the Senna's page and African Magic page. Unfortunately, Facebook is not giving me access to my own African Magic page anymore. The page is there, and Senna and other people can access it, but I for one reason or the other, Facebook does not give me access to my own page anymore. I don't know. We've been trying to beg them, to ask them to open it for me. They made it in such a way that even Senna cannot add me. Nobody can add me to my own my own page anymore. So I cannot write anything there. I cannot say anything there anymore. I don't know what is the technical challenges that Facebook is facing, but that's what is happening. But then we will be doing this end of year festival. We have started the whole thing, and we'll be showing part of them as we go on a Revolution platform for you. And maybe Senna and the other children can share it on African Magic Temple channel on YouTube. But I cannot access it myself anymore. Maybe in the future they will be able to connect me. I don't know. Because I don't know how many times we are begging them to open it, because we haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong whereby my own page, I cannot have access to it. I don't know. So anyway, thank you all very much for joining us today. All of you who had asked very interesting questions, I'm very happy that you did ask those questions, and hope to see you again next Sunday on the 19th of December 2021. And I wish you all the greetings of the season, compliments of